Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a medical field that's, absolutely essential for half the population, but one that's often kind of shrouded in mystery. We're talking about gynecology. So let's just dive right into the one big question so many of us have. What really happens at a gynecologist's office? It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or you've been going for years. We're going to see what this area of healthcare is really all about. To do that, we've laid out a pretty clear path in 5 sections. We'll start with the basics, walk through the exam itself and the conversation with your doctor, look at the big picture of care, and then wrap it all up with the most powerful tool of all, prevention. Okay, let's jump right in. First things first, what is gynecology anyway? Well, at its very core, the clinical definition is pretty straightforward. Gynecology is the specialized field of medicine that's focused on the health of the female reproductive system. So we're talking about the uterus, vagina, ovaries, the whole deal. But honestly, it's so much more than just a textbook definition. The real goal here is to create a lifelong partnership for your health. It's care that grows and changes with you through all the different stages of your life. Okay, now for the part that, let's be honest, can cause a little or a lot of anxiety, the physical exam. But you know what? Understanding the why behind the tools and the process can totally help take the fear of the unknown out of the equation. And this right here is the perfect mindset to have. It's so crucial to remember that every single instrument, every part of the procedure is there for one reason, to gather information. They're designed to help your doctor understand your health, not to intimidate you. Yeah, let's take the speculum, for example. It might look a little weird, right? But its only purpose, its only job, is to give your doctor a clear view so they can get information they just couldn't get any other way. So the whole thing can really be broken down into 3 pretty manageable steps. First, there's just a simple external visual check. Second, you have the speculum exam, which is when they can do things like a pap smear. And third, there's the bimanual exam, where the doctor uses their hands to check the position of the uterus and ovaries. Each step has a super clear, logical purpose. But, and this is a huge but, the physical exam is only half the story. The other half, which is honestly just as crucial, is the actual conversation you have with your doctor. Your voice is absolutely key, and this just illustrates that partnership perfectly. On one side, you have everything only you can bring to the table, your medical history, your symptoms, your concerns. On the other side, you have the doctor's clinical findings. One without the other is an incomplete puzzle. But when you put them together, that's when you get the full picture. This is your chance to be an active partner in your own care. Whether you're talking about your period, contraception, sexual health, or just some weird pain you've been ignoring, being open is everything. And please remember this, no detail is too small or too embarrassing when you're talking about your health. So we've got the how of a visit down. Now let's zoom out and look at the what. You might actually be surprised by just how broad the scope of gynecological health really is. Wow, okay, take a look at this chart. It really says a lot, doesn't it? The biggest chunk right there, a full 40%, is all about preventative care. That's huge. This isn't just a specialty for when things go wrong, it's mostly about keeping you healthy in the first place. And this table gives us some real-world examples. We're talking about managing common but complex conditions like PCOS and endometriosis, all the way to routine screenings and treating common infections, including STIs. The range of care is just incredible. All right, our final section. This is where it all comes together because we're focusing on what is arguably the most important function of gynecology, proactive, preventive care. This is a complete mindset shift, really. The goal isn't to wait for a problem to get serious and then try to fix it. It's about staying ahead of health issues, catching them super early, or even better, stopping them from ever happening at all. And if you need any proof of just how powerful prevention is, here it is. Over 80%. Just think about that number for a second. Thanks to things like the pap smear and the HPV vaccine, the vast majority of cervical cancers are now preventable. That's what prevention looks like in action. It literally saves lives. This timeline just shows it so perfectly. Gynecology isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a lifelong journey. The focus just shifts to meet your needs at every stage, from education in your teens to screenings and family planning in your 20s and 30s, all the way through menopause management and beyond. It's continuous, evolving support. So when you boil it all down, what's the main takeaway here? A visit to the gynecologist isn't just a chore to check off a list. It is an active, collaborative process designed to empower you with the knowledge and the tools you need to take control of your own health. Which leaves us with this one final thought. Now that you have this understanding, the question really shifts from what happens there to something much more personal. How can you take this information and become a better, more proactive champion for your own lifelong health journey?